welcome back to the What We Said podcast. It's Spooktober, and it's been spooky here. The fog has been crazy. Weather corner is starting fast and early, but I'm just feeling really in the spooky spirit.
Hi friends, good morning. How are ya? Welcome back to the channel for another vlog. It is such a gloomy morning again. I'm pretty sure it's gonna burn off. It started burning off midday, but like, look at how yellow the lights behind me look because the window in front of me is such a cool, cold, foggy blue. But I'm excited to spend the day with y'all today. I think we might end up doing a Q&A in today's video because I was asking the types of things y'all like to see that aren't vlogs. And a lot of y'all were like, Q&As are my favorite. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just throw that into a vlog. So we'll do that and spend the day together, hang out. I'm quickly getting ready. I had a little editing morning in bed, but it's time for me to get dressed and get ready. I have two outfits to decide between. They're both from Lululemon. They're both so cute. I'm getting to work with them on today's video so we can decide which one is the vibe for today and try them both on. So I also let my hair air dry yesterday, and then I slept on it, and now I'm like, great, what do I do with this? It was cute yesterday. It was like kind of wavy, but then I went to Pilates, I put it in a bun, I slept on it, and now air dry hair does not last like styled hair does. So I'm at a loss. I'm in my chocolate brown era. I just wanted everything chocolate brown. And then yesterday I got my nails painted chocolate brown. So sorry in advance for the amount of chocolate, but everything's so cute. Okay, here's the two outfits. I warned you, lots of chocolate. I wanted to show you these together before I threw on the crew neck over this, but I was so excited because these particular leggings have been the only leggings that I have worn since I bought them for myself on my Charleston trip. And ever since then, I've only worn these. These are the Lululemon Align leggings that like I know you know of, but they're the ribbed ones. And the fact that they're ribbed is the perfect like intersection of the stretchy, no pants feeling of Align, but like a little more hold. And it's just perfection. So when I saw this in chocolate, I was like, maybe I should make it a set and get this bra to go with it for like yoga and Pilates. This is the Wonder Train strappy racer bra. Look at the back. Something that I have a few of because I would buy a new one for myself every year was the Soft Stream crew neck. So I got myself one this year, but then I also got this new version. This is their new arrivals. I'm gonna link all their new arrivals for you. Oh my gosh, the fit of this is so cute. Look at this. Look at the sleeves. It's the same Soft Stream material that I love, but it is the voluminous sleeve pullover version. Okay, so this is outfit option number 1, but I don't know. I might go with number 2. It's gonna be a tough decision. Okay, yeah. Maybe I'm gonna wear this today. I don't even have my crew neck over yet, but I want to show you the underlayer yet again. This material. It's the Nulu material, which I love, but this is the Wondermost Ultra Soft Nulu spaghetti strap cami tank. And the way that this feels, okay, if you're a sensory girl, I cannot stress to you that this is the best feeling thing I have ever put on my body. I'm pairing it with this skirt, which I wore in a Instagram reel. The husband does my voiceover reel recently, and I was like kind of shocked at how many of y'all DM'd me and asked for the skirt link. This is the high-rise pleated tennis skirt. The reason I love these things and a lot of things from Lululemon is it is a nice thing to put on when you don't really know what the day holds, like what the weather's gonna do, what your plans are. So the reason I wore this skirt in that reel is it was our day off and we were gonna go on a brunch date. And Jordy was like, maybe after brunch we paddleboard. I don't know, let's feel it out. And I was like, well, I wanna be cute for brunch, but I want to be able to be in something I can paddleboard in. So that's why I wore this skirt, because it has these built-in biker shorts. And then I thought, the chocolate brown with the blue, yet again, so classic. It's a Soft Stream, perfectly oversized cropped crew. And I just love the way it naturally hits. But I will link all these things down below. I'll also just leave a link to shop their new arrivals because a lot of these things are their new arrivals. And I'm glad that they're on the chocolate train too, because I just want everything in this brown color. And they seem to be releasing a lot of my favorites in this color, which is very good for me. I'm so sorry that I matched my nails so much today. Now that I'm dressed though, I do have to figure out what to do with my hair, and I really don't have many ideas. I could try braiding it, but I'm gonna try, this is what I did every day in high school. I would wear my hair just natural, and I would take these front sections, and I'd kind of twist them and pin them. I don't know if this is the hairstyle for us today. I don't know. This is why I use heat on my hair, because then it literally lasts 5 days without me having to think about it again. I ordered just some like little charms and beads off Amazon. So all of these glass beads were in one kit, not including these blue ones. These blue ones are from a necklace that I recently broke. All the rest were from one kit. And then I ordered this array of like vintage charms. It was $8 and it came with so many different charms. And we went through and we chose all of our favorite charms and I made a charm bracelet. And I'll link the stuff I ordered to make this because the pearls were $17 for enough to make like 3 or 4 bracelets. And then the charms were $8 for a variety pack of who knows what. But I have some leftover of these beads and I kind of would like to make a couple more necklaces or bracelets to like give to friends. So maybe we can do that today as well. It's always nice to have that. Maybe I'll throw it in with my next thrifting gift, a handmade necklace to go with whatever outfit. I can't wait to film the next one of those. I might go try to co-work out of the house for a couple hours today just because I have some things I need to just cross off the list, and I find myself being so much less distracted and like so much more on top of things if I go sit somewhere and then I don't leave until I'm done. So I could also stand to pick up some gluten-free flour because tomorrow in the next vlog I'm gonna try a crazy experiment where I'm gonna take the recipe for a gluten-free cinnamon roll that I've done many times that works really well, but I'm gonna try to make savory rolled up rolls out of them, so stay tuned for that. I need to get the ingredients for that, but it's actually been really fun. Jordy's here. He's here for just this week. He was gonna have to go to Nashville to finish his album. The label set him up with a producer that's gonna finish it, but last minute we convinced the producer to fly here and he's staying with us, so that means I get to have Jordy around, which is really nice. But they are in the studio wrapping all that stuff up from like, they start at 9 a.m. every day. Yesterday they went until 8:30 p.m. So it's been very long days, but at least I get to pop in or out. Yesterday was drum day, so that was very loud. But today should be a lot more quiet, but also it's, if you hear anything in the background, that's what's going on. Maybe we can go spy on them and see how they're doing this morning. How's it going?
Okay.
Has it been a good studio week? You gonna finish the album?
Stay tuned.
Woo!
Actually, he is.
He is.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job.
But
I like it.
it's you.
He got the shirt because he said it's me and Max.
Yeah. It's you.
Just pulled up to Communal, my favorite. I'm just gonna get a couple hours of work done there. But I thought of an exciting update on the drive to tell y'all. Any of you that garden, you're gonna be excited about this. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. It's not 100%, but it's like 90% that this is gonna happen. I was talking to my chef instructor and my friend Katie when they were over this last week about like how it would be fun if we collaborated somehow to do some sort of like little vegetable garden in my yard and we could use fresh produce, whatever. And my chef instructor goes, Michel, I've actually been looking for someone for like the last 2.5 years in the SoCal area that would let me bring in this gardener to do like a full vegetable garden. This lady is the lady that does the produce gardens for so many of the Michelin restaurants in Southern California who have their own like rooftop garden or who do everything from like farm to table of their own. She does also beekeeping, all sorts of things. And he's like, let me see if she'd be willing to come to Oceanside to set all that up, and texted her and was like, yeah. And so the my chef instructor was like, I will literally split the cost with you, and then I could come use this produce and grow whatever I want for the things that he's working on. And apparently she has a seed library of over 4,000 seeds that she can grow things from seed. So we were talking about doing some raised garden beds in the lower yard, like along the retaining wall. So you go down there and just get vegetables. And then our front lawn has a succulent garden. He's like, what if in the front we did like all edible flowers and herbs? Which would be so cute. That might be a project that we do maybe around the new year. This is our last month of our like current setup, because then my friend is having a baby, and then this next year we're gonna do a little bit of a different schedule. So that might be happening, and that would be so fun. I do not have a green thumb. I do not know a lot about gardening or plants. My mom has recently gotten very into it, so this whole idea came up of like, this would be a fun thing for me to learn, and my mom and I could bond over it, / also would just be fun to vlog the process of learning it, and then be able to show y'all like, I learned these couple things are really easy to grow on your own if you want to grow things in your own home or whatever, and then make recipes out of them. And I just think it could be fun for content, and my brain would love to learn about that. So that might happen. We might literally have the gardener who plans and seeds, Michelin gardens, help us set up a little system in my yard. That's to come, but let's just knock out enough work to feel like we're on top of things. I've actually planned out my filming schedule through February, but now I need to go through and type every single video of what the video title is, or they don't all have titles. Sometimes the title is just the date and I figure out the exact concept when I'm closer. But that, the day I'm filming it, the day the edit needs to be sent in to my management, the day it goes live, I like go through and type all that out. So the fact that I've planned my schedule all the way through February means just typing that out alone is like a pretty big project. So we're gonna get all of that like officially squared away so I can send it to each respective party so that everybody knows what the plan and timing is for all of my videos for the next October, November, December, January, February, 5-ish months. I need to calm down sometimes. Stepping out a little bit early because my mom needs help deciding on some chairs, and she asked to FaceTime me, and I was like, oh, it's really loud in here. I'll just go ahead and head home. But got a good hour and a half done of work. I'm gonna definitely have to wrap up a lot of that tonight, but okay. Let's FaceTime Mom. The thing that I like about this couch is you don't see the feet, and the thing that I don't like about this couch is the feet look pretty dated.
Yeah, I don't like the feet.
And the arm looks really low. Like that wouldn't be comfortable to like lay on.
Oh, it's super comfortable. Dad sat in all the couches at living spaces.
Really?
Because he's so picky.
I mean, I love every couch I've owned has been a living space couch. I love living space couches. Besides the pull-out couch in my office. Mom's trying to find a new couch for their den. They've had the same couches for so many years, and I love their couches because they're really beautiful leather, but they're so uncomfortable. So she's trying to find a comfortable sectional that's somewhat affordable, but that looks modern, but is comfortable enough for my dad, who tends to like very kind of stiff short couches, and all those like look a little more dated. It's been a struggle. But anyways, I didn't get to tell y'all because I left a little earlier. I got a new seasonal latte that they had, and it's a maple gingerbread. It's so good. It's definitely the first kind of like sign of a wintry drink, but I feel like the maple is a little more fall. And then obviously gingerbread is super winter. So huge slay. If you are in the greater San Diego area, I feel like Communal has, I know they have at least 2 because I've been to 2 locations, but they might have like 3 or 4 locations now. Try that because it's quite good. It's got home to some sort of unknown PR package. Some call it basic. We call it a pumpkin spice latte. Whoa. Homemade pumpkin spice latte. Is it for dogs to drink? I'm so confused. It came with a mug. I'm sure that's not for Max. Gotta follow the instructions. Make sure the temp is warm and not hot. This one gets 2 scoops. I'm giving it to him in the mug. I hope that's not so stupid of me. And then this one gets 1 scoop of goat milk. I don't know if he's ever had goat milk. Max, you want a treat? Let's take it outside because it looks kind of messy. You want a treat? Okay, here. It's a pumpkin spice latte for you. Do you like it? I think he kind of does. Do you like it? I guess at least it's hydrating. Drinking water. Okay. I'm being a girl that just goes with the flow. I was just about to go get our stuff to make bracelets together, and Jordy was like, we're going to Taco Tuesday. You can come if you want. And I was like, I do want. Taco Tuesday is a thing that a little local grocery store does here, where on Tuesdays the tacos are literally 69 cents, but there's a guy, his name's Alex. He makes the best tri-tip in the northern county of San Diego, and it is so good. And that is celiac safe. So I'm gonna get a little lunch with the boys, and then we'll come home and continue on our day. But let's go get Taco Tuesday tacos. someone a matching necklace to mine. And then once I decide, I haven't gone through all the submissions for the next thrift and gift, but once I find someone to thrift for, I'm gonna add on one of these little charms with their initial on it. But these are the beads that I got that I just think are so pretty. They're all real stone. And while I'm making this, let's go through our questions that y'all submitted. Oh, you know what I do need to find is I used nail glue to secure my knots on mine because this kind of rubbery string is pretty slippery. So I'm gonna go find some nail glue really quick. Okay, I think my glue has dried enough for this knot. Ah, no, it's slipping. Anyways, as I make this, we're gonna go through y'all's questions in no particular order. This first one is nice and light. It says, what is your dream solo travel location? Well, one of the spots I've really wanted to go to, I'm about to go at the end of this month, this will be soon, it is to Vermont. And also a little bit more North Maine. I'm really excited for that. One of my dream trips in general, but I think I want to do it with Jordy, is Copenhagen. And I also would love to do Nantucket, but that might be more of like girls trip vibes. I think would be really fun. But I am very excited to do solo Vermont, especially in the fall. Like, that's so cool. Advice for single girlies. Do you think it really happens when you're least expecting it? In terms of like meeting someone, what it really is you can't control when you do meet the right person. You can control how many people you're meeting by how many dates you're going on, but you can't control when that right person comes along. And I think the reason people say it happens when you least expect it is when you're really trying and when you're really expecting it, it's just like a watched pot never boils. And it feels like, why isn't this happening for me? But when you are not looking and someone comes along, then it's just very much like, oh, shocking. You know what I mean? Whereas when you already expect it, it is not as shocking. So I think my best advice for single girlies is don't watch the pot. The more that you are comfortable and okay being on your own, I think that that's really attractive to a future partner too, personally. How do you mentally cope with feeling undeserving of love from your partner? I feel like this question could be interpreted two ways. One way could be, how do you mentally cope with my partner is not really giving me love and affection because I am undeserving of that? Or it's, how do I process the fact that I don't feel like I'm worthy of love and my partner is being very loving to me and like I don't know how to accept that? So that could be two different ways the question is being asked. I have been on both sides of the spectrum. I have felt, you know, in previous situations that I wasn't getting any sort of love and affection. And to feel like your partner thinks you're not deserving of love is a really hard thing to mentally cope with. I think the first step is being honest with yourself that you feel like you're not receiving what you need. And then the second step is being honest with them. And that's a very vulnerable conversation, but you need to vocalize that so that they're aware. That's something that I was never good at all. I tried to just be self-sufficient. If they are a good partner, then they would want to know that they are not loving you in the way that you feel like you're receiving love so that they could change it. And if you bring it up and they have no desire to change, then that's a good sign of maybe this relationship is not the healthiest and different reassessing needs to happen from there. Now, if you're on the other side of the relationship, like for me, when I started dating Jordy, it felt weird to have someone be like so into me. It is weird, especially if you have been primed mentally for so many years of kind of being okay not receiving that because you had to be okay not receiving that to like continue on. I think reminding yourself that you are worthy of being loved is the solution for both of those scenarios. It's like if someone is loving towards me, I'm gonna go ahead and accept that they mean that because I deserve that. I'm worthy of love, you know? Favorite and least favorite part about living in California? Okay, I gotta say, living in a like area that is super accessible to the beach is my favorite part. I literally feel like my brain is so different living near this ocean air. A thing that I also love is how much Max loves it here. Like, he is so much more happy here, and I could tell that. So weather, lifestyle, and just like what nature has to offer is by far my favorite part of California. Least favorite part is just expense. Like, I do get overwhelmed by the expense of living here pretty often, and I might talk about this more in a video eventually, but I can't help but feel kind of like it's a lot of pressure to be able to financially afford to live in a beach town. And obviously the benefits are, there's so many benefits, which is why people do it. But then there's also this like little voice in the back of your head of like, am I being financially unwise? Am I like putting this pressure on myself, and is it bad for my mental health and my creativity? And Am I building a life that will be good for my future kids, or am I literally throwing money down the drain? Like, that mental struggle of California is prominent. Does that make sense? Even all my friends, like, it's something that me and all my friends that live out here think about, especially as they're considering kids. They're like, well, we could live here with kids, but in these ways, having kids here would be such a good lifestyle for them. But in these ways, like, is this financially unwise? I don't know. It's just a conversation you hear a lot out here living in California. You do have to sacrifice some things in order to make it work. There is like a level of pressure financially to make it work as well. Do you think you rushed into a second relationship marriage because you hated being alone? Personally, I love being alone, which is why I did plan to be single longer than I was, which is why it feels like, you know, it happens when you least expect it. Someone will just come into your life. And I'm so happy that my timeline of dating Jordy was not what I had expected for myself. But I am also glad that we were long distance and that he is a touring musician, because I do feel like I still get a lot of that time alone, which is really good for me. I consider myself to be pretty independent, even though I am a lover girl who loves to be in a relationship at the same time. I am glad that I am in a relationship where I still get like plenty of alone time. So that's definitely not why I got into a relationship quickly. It was genuinely not my plan. 2025 goals. Figure out my direction with my job. I want to start some new things, some new series, maybe pivot in some ways, just find things that I feel like are really bringing value, and really assess every single thing that I am doing on the internet, how it not only affects the people viewing it and like the world at a, you know, zoomed out perspective, but also like me and my mental health and my relationships and my self-value and my brain. So my 2025 goals are literally just that. Just reassess, pause, and be incredibly intentional with the creativity that I have and with the content that I'm producing. Has seeing friends with babies and spending time with their babies made you want kids sooner? No, definitely not. I think if anything, it's just a reminder of like how much a commitment a child is. I mean, duh, obviously, we all know that, but seeing practically and tangibly how it changes their minute to minute, hour to hour, I respect that so much, and I want that one day, but it makes me not at all eager to rush through this phase and fully enjoy the freedom of being two dinks. And it's funny, I have always rushed through so many seasons of my life, but for some reason, kids is one thing in my mind that I've just fully grasped the gravity of, and feel no desire to rush into that phase, because I know it'll happen and I know it'll be great. And once it happens, there's no going back to where I am now. So I am in no rush. ADU updates. A lot of people asked about this. As you know, we are hopefully eventually rebuilding the guest house for my parents. My parents are part owner of this house. We were specifically looking for a house that had a guest house so that they can spend summers out here. So when we started house hunting, we were only looking at houses that had some sort of like, you know, a duplex or some sort of detached something, or a, what do they call it? Like a granny flat or whatever. Unfortunately, after buying this house, we found out we can't keep the current structure, and the process of trying to figure out what to do next, the steps have been so slow. So we've been working with an architect for a long time. They've sent things to an engineer, but before the engineer can finish, we have to get our soil tested, because that was a new law that was just placed. So we're working on getting soil tested, but to be able to do new construction, we have to have solar. So we're working on getting solar. It's like all of these steps that are just continuously like, oh, cool, another thing we have to figure out how to do. And then each step takes a very long time. But it's honestly been okay, because it's giving us time to really assess exactly how we hope all of this ends up. And my parents, you know, have kind of like had different ideas of things that they might want to do or might not want to do, both with like the layout, but then even like just kind of reconsidering every single part of it. And if we want to maybe pivot completely, I don't know. So we're just like taking our sweet time. We're still going along with the plans, and I'm hoping we'll get all of the finalized plans from the engineer soon to start working on getting more formal quotes. But it's just like a boring, slow planning process. And we're not pushing it to go incredibly fast either, like I said, just because we're kind of like all taking our time, because it's also a big commitment. Time will tell. Do you and Jordy have any baby names picked out? Well, if you don't know this about Jordy, he is George the Third. So one of the things I learned very onto dating him is that if there's a son, he would hope for it to be George the Fourth. But cute, and I respect family traditions, so I'm totally fine with it, mostly because their middle name is Truitt, and I think that that is a super sick name. I really like the name Truitt. So if we had a boy, we'd probably call him Truitt. And I do have a name for a girl picked out that I have loved for a long time. It's a very simple first name and a very like annoyingly Instagram-y middle name, but I feel like you can have fun with middle names. So we'll see if I still like that in however many years when I'm, you know, getting close to having kids. But I have liked this one name combo for many years now for a girl. So we'll see about that. But if I have a boy, everyone's already gonna know baby boy's name. Baby George the Fourth. And lastly, is it still your dream to open up a little cafe of your own? Yes. How that looks changes in my mind all the time. I am obsessed with tiny little grocery stores with like fun snacks from around the world. So I would love to have some sort of little grocery store market situation that also had kind of gift items that spotlighted local artists, like my friend Katie who does pottery, like having some of her pieces out as a collection. My friend who's a graphic designer, having some of her like block print hand towels out as a collection, just like supporting local artists. And then it's a spot people can come and make little gift baskets for people, because also gift giving is my love language. So I would love to do something like that one day. I don't know how practical that is, but it would be also fun to combine that with a little coffee shop or something, to have more foot traffic. Kind of like Communal, where I just worked today. They have a little tiny market portion, but it's mostly a coffee shop. I'd almost like to do it in reverse, where it's mostly a market with a tiny little coffee shop or some sort of food or pastry or floral or something, to where people would come in to get that and then meander and look around at the other things. I think that would be really fun. So expensive, I'm sure, to ever start a business like that. So that might just be a dream and never a reality. Okay, and with that, I think our little necklace is done here. Let's try it on and see how it looks. Can't wait to see which letter charm I'll put on it. I think I'm gonna film the next thrift and gift pretty soon. So cute. With one of these. Right there. It'll be so cute. Thanks for crafting with me and making a necklace with me. I'll link these beads, like I said. They're just, I'm trying to remember how much these stone beads were. I think maybe $17 or $18, and then the charms were like $8, but I'll link them down below in case you wanna make matching necklaces to me. We can all have like friendship necklaces, or I'll link the pearls too if you wanna do matching pearl charm bracelets. If you do that, actually, can you please tag me on an Instagram story? I'd love that. But last thing to say, thank you to Lululemon for partnering with me on this video. It is actually so hilarious and sweet that I have seriously bought one of these exact crew necks every year for the last, I think, 3 years, whenever they first came out with them. I was living in Austin the second year I bought it. Anyways, all that to say, I hadn't bought one yet for this year. So when I got the opportunity to work with Lululemon, I said, you know what I'm getting is for sure this year's crew neck. So I'll link all these things down below, along with our new arrivals if you want to shop that. I love y'all. I'm starting another vlog tomorrow. We're going to do some baking together. It'll be very fun. And I will see you in that video very soon.